Alright, what do we got here? It's a pretty easy redraw, right? Everybody ready to check close 7 and unkeepable 6 off your bingo cards? Ooh, keepable 6! That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm gonna bottom an Eternal Witness here. If I had a fetch land, I think I would keep the Eternal Witness, but without a fetch land, I think this hand's just not quite good enough to keep the Eternal Witness. Goblin Guide, yep. It's decent for us. Being on the draw here is probably going to be the death of us. Having the wall on 2 will be reasonable, but we're going to take 4 damage off this Goblin Guy, which is a lot of damage. If we don't have a second land, we could be okay. Could maybe buy us enough time. Wall of Omens is a better blocker than Wall of Roots. This way, if they have a lightning bolt to finish my wall off, I feel less bad about it. Next turn, we get to go Wall of Roots into Elvish Visionary, which is nice. One of the things I was thinking about when I was looking at this deck list was, I think it's probably wrong to play the first copy of Elvish Visionary before the 4th copy of Wall of Omens, just because Wall of Omens is so much better at blocking in situations like this. They're bolting me. Maybe I should have blocked here, because they could, like, send 2 upstairs. Nope. Huh. Like a Grim Lavamancer here. It's pretty brutal. Suspend Riftbolt. Yep. Okay, well, we're at 10. We have a Thragtusk in our main deck, which is nice. So maybe we can survive Chord for that here. We're going to 7 on their turn. But we've got the board locked up, which is good. But they could definitely go, like, land, Boros Charm, 1-mana spell, kill us. No, it said long stream when I started this morning, Tom. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm 1 mana off of courting for Thragtusk next turn. Thanks, Infinity. I think it was. I think it came together nicely. I think the data paints a nice picture. This Wooded Foothills can allow me to chord for Thragtusk next turn, but fetching to 6 in order to do that feels a little bit bad. I don't have anything else that's good against... I guess that's actually pretty funny. Into a spike, so if they attack with everything here, they can force my Elvish Visionary to chump block. But it gives me a Goblin Guide trigger. Path to Exile's not a terrible card. We're down to 4 here. Usually for $100 donations, I'll play formats that I don't usually play, Calhoun's. I'm really not a big fan of the Commander format. So I can no longer chord for... Thragtusk, which means I really don't have anything useful to get with this Chord of Calling here, right? I could get the Trostani, I suppose. We're probably just going to die to cards out of their hand, though. I guess we're starting by casting this Elvish Visionary. And I think I'm going to put a counter on here. Yeah, I'd probably sit through a Standard League for a $100 donation. It's a decent hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can chord for Trostani at the end of their turn. We can line up a bunch of blocks here and then chord for Trostani. They could also kill us here, right? Like we're at 4, Boros Charm and like double 1-mana spell are both lethal. I'm not expecting to get another turn here. If we get another turn, it'll be a happy accident. Oh, this is actually going to die when I chord here, huh? Which is also kind of sad. Casey, I can kill on turn 2 with a nut draw, right? You did miss the Narset meme. You did, in fact, miss the Narset meme. Am I dead? I guess I should have put the Wall of Roots in front of a Monastery Swift Spear, which would force them to cast a spell in order to kill it. Because now they got to kill this for free. No, Pontiff only gives -1/-1, Tom. Also, I don't really care about their creatures. Their creatures aren't the problem here. The problem is the spells in their hand that are going to kill us. I shouldn't have tapped my basic planes. I'm not sure that I'm going to have scheduled Hearthstone time moving forward. It's just tough to make that commitment. So, do I actually net gaining health here if I chord for... Yeah, I should, right? So I'm going to chord for a Wall of Roots here in response to this. I just really don't want to get Skullcracked. I guess I'm dead to a spell no matter how I slice this, though, right? We're gonna end up at 6 here. So that means, like, Lightning Bolt and anything kills us here still. And, again, the fact that I lost my Wall of Roots without making them cast a spell was a mistake as well. Hope you feel better, Zach. Yeah, I might poke at the Immortal Gauntlets. It's a shame we're dead here. Otherwise, we'd stabilize really hard next turn. Yeah, I think just the fact that we were on the draw meant we were just like a turn too slow this entire game. Which is usually how it comes down to being on the draw. Wow, a Tarkus Command's a good one to know about. It's a lot of damage. Tarkus Command there. Actually Naya Burn and not just red-white. So we get to play Helix here. We get to play Path to Exile. Spellskite's pretty good. Hey, Tokusin, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Or welcome. There's a lot of great people making content on Twitch right now, so thanks for supporting mine this month. I'm gonna cut some of these more expensive cards out of my deck. Pretty easy trims. I guess Fulminator Mage isn't very good. Do I want... Selfless Spirit can protect some of my things that are important, which is nice. I'd like to play first this time. This hand is pretty good. It needs white mana, so hopefully my bird lives, but... I don't think I can mulligan this hand by any stretch of the imagination. Ghostway can put a game out of reach. There's a lot of games where we just like need to gain a little bit more health to put it completely out of reach for them. So like flicking a Thragtusk or a Trostani in our board while she's out, it could like lock a game up very easily that we'd otherwise be in trouble during. That's a fantastic draw. The Wall of Roots is good too, right? Because we get to go ahead and do this, and then I get to go ahead and cast this Wall of Omens as well. And with these Helixes, we'll probably just lock the game up in a big way. Sea Dragon could be okay. Don't be greedy. Just helix their things on your turn while they don't have what's it called, mana up. Skullcrack mana. Just keep their board as small as possible. Be conservative with all of your plays. Can I fetch a White Swords tapped with this? Almost certainly. Grab a Temple Garden probably. That's a Chord of Calling. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can't cast... What's it called right now? So I'm just going to go ahead and get Thragtusk, and that'll be the end of the game. This should pretty much be a concession Thragtusk. Turn 4 Chord for Thragtusk. God bless us, everyone. There is a green Wall of Omens that is not modern legal. It's called Wall of Blossoms. It was printed in some very old set, but it's definitely not modern legal. So hopefully we can have a fast start on the draw, or something that has like Lightning Helix or Path to Exile in it to stabilize a little bit. Stronghold, yep. Was it a master set too? Yeah, the cards being in master sets really throw people off because they reprint them with new borders. Like, I can't tell you the number of times people are like, why aren't you playing Arcane Denial in your Owling Mine deck? And it's like, well, that card's not actually legal in spite of just being printed. This hand is nuts. This is like as good as a hand can be without Birds of Paradise on the draw. The fact that our White Sorcerer isn't going to deal damage to us is also excellent. Wall of Roots is a good pickup as well. Arcane Denial would be amazing in Owling Mine. Yes, it would be. Yes, yes, it would be. There's a reason why people kept asking, because it would in fact be nuts. So do I Helix this turn, or do I just Wall? I think I'm just supposed to Wall this turn, right? Because I want to propel myself into more mana. Forgot to update you earlier, this cheer makes 1,400 bits for today. Could I get 600 on Combo Town and 800 on Interlude? $10 out of 10. So... with the Forest draw, I think I'm just supposed to get my Helix in this turn. Just because, like, it's the same as, like, a Wall is the same as killing a thing anyways, and this way I get to guaranteed gain my 3 health, and then next turn we can do the Wall into Wall play like we did last game. So we're going to 12 here, maybe 11, and then 8 off of a spell. And then if we stabilize at 8, if we stabilize the creature board while at 8, so we're stabilizing the creature board while at 7, we might be able to pull back into this game with this this Chord of Calling eventually. Eternal Witness is very, very good. She's going to rebuy Lightning Helix for us, obviously. So next turn, we can Eternal Witness plus cast Lightning Helix, which would be great. Yeah, the creature toolbox decks are always a lot of fun. There's a reason why I spend so much time playing these decks. We could be Dead to Bolt plus Borrowstorm here. Them's the beat sometimes. This is just like I remember. This is just like I remember how we stopped playing Kiki card. Burn opponent draws exactly 3 lands and kills you just before you stabilize. Them's the Comes the beat sometimes, though. These decks are slow and clunky, and the more efficient decks are just going to get under you. That was their last 2 cards in hand. While we're waiting for the second match to pop, I'd just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, content producer, whatever you want to call it, here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30+ hours a week on this channel. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. Subscriptions start at $4.99 a month, or if you're one of the many people out there who has Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and that gets you Twitch Prime for free, which gives you a free channel subscription of your choice every single month. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you can put decks into the donation queue like this one. A lot of the decks we play here on stream are decks that viewers have submitted. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. Love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. And of course, myself and all the wonderful moderators here would like to welcome you to Hoaglandia. Please be sure to talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about your complimentary timeout. I think looking at that game and thinking that this deck, I think we have plenty of tools for burn. I think sometimes the burn deck's going to have a really good hand on the play. They're going to draw exactly 3 lands, and they're just going to fucking kill you regardless of what cards you draw. Like, the burn deck drew double Boros Charm, which is their only way to deal more than 3 damage in a single card, and they killed us exactly dead while we were on the draw. So I think, like, if you walk away from that game that we just played and you go, well, I need more cards for burn, I think you don't really understand how to evaluate cards in Modern. Sometimes they just have it. Sometimes the deck that's aggressive on the play had all of their things line up well, and they drew exactly the right number of lands, and no changing any number of cards in your deck is going to really fix that, basically, is what it comes down to. What happened to the rotating banner? I thought it felt cluttered, Lomas Love, Lomas Life, so I've just got 2 screens and I don't have the rotating banner on either of them. And again, just like, we're on the draw here. We're probably going to lose this game because we're on the draw, and that's these mid-range decks against aggressive decks like Burn. That's just how the cookie's going to crumble a lot of the time. And that's okay. That's a feature. It's not a bug. If you're not okay losing these games on the draw, you need to play something that's more proactive. Correct, yeah. You are, as someone who's played this archetype in a lot of matches of Magic, what Quald just said there is extremely correct. You are never beating any deck's best draws while you play Kiki Chord. That's just not how it works. This deck and this archetype has a lot of play to it against decks' medium draws and their average draws, and obviously their bad draws you're going to beat. But the most decks' nut draws in Modern are so aggressive and so proactive, you just don't have the tools to efficiently interact with them quickly in a deck like this. Oh, Grim Lavamancer's kind of a beating. Grim Lavamancer is kind of a beating. I don't really have a good answer to that. I had a rotating banner at the bottom of each of the ad pages with the other banners on the other ad pages on it, Tom, and it just made it feel too busy, I think. What's my least crap line? Yeah, I think it's just Resto, Blink the Bird. The problem is that, like, I can't even block with the Resto because the Grim Lavamancer just finishes it off. Although maybe I do that, and then I just, like, witness back my Scavenging Ooze and grow my Skoos. Goblin Guide. Is this the same person we just played against? No, it's a different person. Okay, I'm gonna fetch here just in case there's the basic planes exactly on top of our deck. So again, I'm not going to block with the Restoration Angel because I don't want it to lose it to the Grim Lava Man. But maybe I'm supposed to. Maybe I'm just supposed to accept that this eats 2 damage that's good for us. I'm taking 4, 8, and I'm exactly dead. Again, bring in some cards that kind of drag our curve down a little bit. Trim some of these more expensive things that are top end. It's possible there should be a second Scavenging Ooze in this 75. I'm really a pretty big fan of that card in Modern in general. Scavenging Ooze, it's good against these aggressive decks after you stabilize the board a little bit, and it's excellent against decks like Jund and Jeskai. I didn't cast the Restoration Angel because we were dead on board. With the Boros Storm in the stack, we were dead on board. Yeah, I don't think Fulminator Mage is good enough. Sometimes you steal games with it, but by and large, it's just not. It's just like Stone Rain is not what you want against the aggressive deck. Scavenging Ooze is a Deathrite Shaman in Modern. If you like, you know, if it's not castable off Underground Sea. That's why Scavenging Ooze is fine in Deathrite Shaman. That's the real problem with Deathrite Shaman. If Deathrite Shaman just had a green pip in its corner and it required you to tap a green producing land to cast it, Deathrite Shaman would be basically fine, probably. If we're being completely honest, Deathrite Shaman would probably just be a perfectly balanced and reasonable card if you couldn't cast it using Underground Sea. Alright, so you get to play Game 2 on the play here, which this is the easy one, generally speaking. The tough one's the next one on the draw. I'm going to fetch a basic forest and play a bird here. And then hopefully this lives through the turn and we get to go tapped land plus Wall of Roots next turn. I think all the hype around Jeskai, I think every time somebody tries a new card in Modern or a new card gets unbanned, I think everybody's like expecting it to break the format wide open. Do I think Teferi and Jeskai broke Modern in half and like we need to ban something and something needs to change? No, I don't. And I think implying that is silly and means you don't understand how this format works. Do I think Teferi is a playable Magic card that's good in Jeskai control? Yes, I do. I think Teferi is a very relevant Planeswalker that has an efficient mana cost by letting you untap your lands. I think he interacts with the board. I think he generates card advantage while having a high loyalty and just ticks basically all the boxes you want to tick with a card like that in Modern. It's not even about figuring out how to beat it. Like Death Shadow is still just like a fine Magic card to play. So this is one of the neat things about Wall of Roots. Remember, you can make Wall of Roots on your turn and your opponent's turn. So if I use Wall of Roots to cast this Elvish Visionary here, I get to go ahead and use Wall of Roots again on my opponent's turn to blink my Elvish Visionary, which is nice. I don't remember Nicholas Bolas. I can't even tell you what the deck list looks like offhand. There's like 70 decks in the queue. I look at them when I approve them, and then I have to refresh my memory later when they come up for the day. Usually the morning of, I like go through the queue and like refresh what cards are actually in the decks that we're planning to play on that given day. Well, our opponent's stuck on lands and we get to draw all the cards. Are they dead? That's lethal, right? I guess they could technically have... I'm going to be conservative. We're super far ahead. Let's draw a bunch of cards. Should have attacked with that. The reason why I didn't attack with the Elvish Visionary is because I didn't think about it while I was clicking. For those that are going to ask why. Blink. Drawing cards is better than winning, chat. If you can't appreciate drawing cards instead of trying to win the game... And look, they had a lightning bolt, so we wouldn't have been able to combo kill them anyways. They would have just bolted Kiki and we'd have felt very silly. Look at that. Instead we get to draw 3 cards. This is definitely the optimal result. I don't know what the rest of you wanted to do, but if it wasn't drawing 3 cards, you're wrong. If drawing 3 cards is the wrong answer, then I don't want to be right, chat. I don't want to. I just can't do it. Don't make me. Please don't make me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, don't kill my Wall of Omens. How will I ever win the game now, opponent? Alright, so we're gonna put a stop on my upkeep so that way we don't draw Kiki-Jiki by mistake. because we actually can't cast him. So this is the bug with Wall of Roots and Chord of Calling. I have to stop casting the Chord of Calling, and I have to manually float mana here. Dear Wizards of the Coast, if any of you are watching, you broke this in January of 2016. It would be nice if you fixed it. Grab the old Freaky Kiki here. And then Kiki and Resto will do their mating ritual. It's with any spell. You cannot activate Wall of Roots as a mana ability. You have to float mana with it and then use it while it's floating. Pour one out for Wall of Roots. This is the hard game. This is the game we're going to be one turn slow of stabilizing because we're on the draw. Someone responded to my Kiki tweet asking me if this deck was bad. And they said, didn't you just call this deck bad? And I said, yeah, most of the decks we play are bad. That's where Modern is fun. You get to play lots of bad decks and still get to 3-2 with most of them anyways. It's great. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. It's just like such a reasonable collection of cards. What do we think on this? Yeah, like, do I just like have to mulligan for Lightning Helix or Birds of Paradise? Yeah, I don't think I can mulligan this. We're gonna take 4 damage from a Goblin Guide, but I think we're supposed to keep this. Yeah, we only take 2 damage from our mana, which is nice. I think that's definitely below the average you take from your mana. Bird, please. Bird, please. Bird, please. You have to discard a card now. I'm actually going to discard this, so I only have to take 1 damage from my mana. We're going to grab Sacred Foundry on this Windswept Heath, I think. Yep. I'm going to crack my fetch now because I would prefer to not draw land. If you want to draw land, you should let the Goblin Guide trigger resolve before you fetch. If you don't want to draw land, you should fetch before the trigger happens. It's another Ghostway. Alright, well, I'm going to cast this Wall of Omens and pass the turn. Spellskite's okay. That could gain us a couple points of health. Next turn we get to go Wall into Skite. We're going to take at least 2 points of damage this turn from attackers, though. And again, like, this is the danger of, like, being on the draw with all these 2-mana spells. We really need to stabilize the board quickly in order to have a chance to win, to not die to their burn spells off the top. And, like, my opponent's going to have pushed, like, 7 damage this game with their creatures, which is a lot of damage off of creatures. I'm going to block the Goblin Guide here rather than the Swift Spear because this makes them cast a spell, which taps them out. They have a Searing Blaze. They do. It's unfortunate. Although I guess I'm playing 2 creatures this turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The Chord of Calling is exactly what we're looking to draw, but again, we're probably just going to be half a turn too slow on the draw here. So I get to get my block on here. The card's very annoying. Okay, I don't have another Searing Blaze. It's good for us. So I can chord for up to 4 here. So I can cast Visionary this turn. And if I use the Wall of Roots, I can chord for Trostani next turn still on their turn, which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I shouldn't have. Ooh, and Wall of Roots. Wall of Roots is free with Chord of Calling, because it makes 2 mana. Probably dead. This puts us to 5, so they just need any 3 damage spell to kill us with the Grim Lavamancer. I guess we're not dead to Lightning Bolt, right? Because if they have Lightning Bolt, I can redirect to Spellskite. But statistically dead. Lightning Bolt or Helix, we're not dead. Yep. That's going to be all she wrote, right? Yeah, I don't have anything that can gain health right now. Yep, like I said, we'll be 1 turn shy of stabilizing on the draw. Them's the brutal beats. Them's the brutal beats. It says every time I start playing this deck, I always get kind of excited. I'm like, man, this deck always has such sweet lines, and there's lots of bobbing and weaving back and forth, and I have a lot of decisions, and then, you know, just remember why I put it down. How much mana did I have for Scavenging Ooze there? There was 1 creature in a graveyard? The problem is, if I tap a bunch of creatures, then I die to their creatures attacking me. I guess I have 1 blocker guaranteed. I didn't consider Scavenging Ooze. I had 7 mana total, which means I could have used Scavenging Ooze to eat twice. But I don't think there were 2 creatures in bins. But I guess I only needed to eat once. Would I have been able to eat once and still leave an extra blocker back? I think so. Maybe I was live with a Scavenging Ooze there. I'd have to go back and look. I didn't consider Scavenging Ooze. Did not consider Scavenging Ooze. There was definitely a Wall of Omens in the discard pile, right? So there was at least 1 creature there. This is not my deck list. It's not my deck list. I didn't put it together. They chose to play cards like Trostani and Stonehorn Dignitary as opposed to cards like Lone Missionary. Lone Missionary is obviously very good against Burn. Yep, if you want to beat Burn with this deck, you should have a Lone Missionary, and then maybe you'll be able to beat their draws like that. Yeah, maybe LOQ. I think the longer I stream, the less we'll be known for things like this. Like there were a lot of people that for years, and this might be a surprise to people in the stream. For years, I was known as the Loam guy, and then I was known as the Spellsetter Sprite guy in Modern for a while too, because I played a lot of that card. And now you have to, like, there's only very few people with really old sub icons that know me as either of those things. I think we're gonna be dead. We're gonna be dead. What's going on, Pinky? Spellskite's good in this matchup because it allows you to Spellskite Arcbound Ravager counters, which is good to know. Reveillark's a little slow. Explosives is fine. Scavenging Ooze is slow. What do I want to cut here? Thragtusk and Trostani are probably slow. Can I cut Trostani? It's like my only really good source of health gain. It's probably fine. They deal damage in large bursts. I never said Legacy was a bad competitive format. What I said about Legacy is still true about Legacy, and even though it butthurt a lot of people, I said if you want to be competitive in Legacy, there's a subset of cards that you better be playing or you're not making yourself competitive, and that's still true. In fact, with the addition of Deathrite Shaman, the subset of cards you better be playing in Legacy if you really want to be competitive is larger than it's ever been. I explicitly called out Brainstorm in that Legacy article forever ago, but that, it's probably neither here nor there. Alright, let's try this. How long am I streaming for today? I think my goal is to do like 10 to 12 hours. I wanted to cross a minimum number of decks off my list. I wanted to play at least 8 decks out of the queue, and this is currently deck number 5. Look no numbers with the $15 donation. Thank you very much for that. Feel free to make any appropriate deck list tweaks. Link. Yeah, this was my baby. My first and only Grand Prix top 16 was with this deck. It was with Delver of Secrets and Spellstutter Sprites. Casual Jeff, Fred Week 4, thank you for the 7-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. I had that blue-red Delver Fairies deck in 100% foil. And let me tell you, did I make a killing reselling that thing later on. Well, this is an excellent Hearthstone hand because it has Stony Silence. Unfortunately, we don't even have a single land, so we have to mulligan. This hand is also good. Most of the creatures in the opponent's deck don't attack on the ground. And I'd rather be able to attack into them with Elvish Visionary than just have 0/4 that can't even block meaningfully. This is getting Sacred Foundry, I think. Sacred Foundry on top. All right, I'm going to top that. I'm actually just going to lead on Basic Forest. Because drawing Sacred Foundry means I can fetch Overgrown Tomb with this, so we can cast the Pontiff in our hand. I knew you as the bad control guy from Standard. That's funny. I do love me bad control decks. I've played a lot of those. This is one of those hands where Stony Silence isn't particularly good. Thankfully, Pontiff as a follow-up should make it pretty reasonable. So we're going to go to 16 on this attack. We're going to go to 13 when we fetch Shock a Overgrown Tomb next turn. Hopefully whatever their follow-up here is like Steel Overseers or Vault Scourges and we get to Pontiff them away. You remember that one? You remember that one, BDP? That fucking deck, man. That was a magic deck. Yes, it was. I would play that deck again. I think we were right. I think we came to good conclusions with that deck. God, I fucking forgot about that one. That was great. What format was that? It was a week 1. That was a week 1 open, right? Pretty sure that was a week 1 open. Yeah, Sultai Ascendancy. Look, I love me a bad control deck, okay? Sultai Ascendancy definitely went into a bad control deck. What does that card even do? If I recall, it's Sultai for 3, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and you can discard any number of them or put them back on top of your deck. We played it with Dig Through Time. It was great. It enabled your Dig Through Times. Hey. Yeah, look at that. Card for card. Card for card. You could discard any of them or put them back on top. Yeah, still got it. All right. Cast this first, see what we find. It was to fuel Dig Through Time and other control elements. Oh, that's a good draw. No, it didn't play Villainous Wealth. We were trying to win. I said I like bad control decks. I mean I put a bunch of bad cards in them. Seasons Past. Yep. That's a good card. Keyword trying. Yep. Murderous Cut and Tassiger. Yeah, we had all the Delve cards. We had all the Delve cards. Take my 2 down to 11. This Pia and Kiran Nalaar then gets to Chord for Restoration Angel to blink Pia and Kiran Nalaar. So it should probably be lights out at this point. Then we have to try and win game 3 on the draw somehow. Which, again, playing decks like this and playing against decks like Affinity a lot, you just end up being a turn slow on the draw a lot of the time. It's just how it is. Deal. So we have, yeah. Yep. Not even gonna make us blink it. Old PS Stony Silence. Tapped lands that gain me health when they come into play. Sign me up. In. What are we playing for this? We're doing Dredge after this Kiki Chord League. Maybe some blue-red prison, some taking turns. Got a lot of good ones to come up. Have you ever stuck Archangel Thune plus Spike Feeder? No, you don't need the point. Like, if you look at this deck, this is basically a green-white deck splashing a triple red card to have a combo kill in it. You don't need to put a worse combo in your deck. In fact, if you're going to play Archangel Spike Feeder combo, you should cut Kiki, because then you get to make your mana better by playing just a straight green-white combo deck. And did anybody in chat play any of the Teamer decks I worked on? I worked on a couple of really sweet Teamer decks. There was the Teamer aggro deck with Savage Knuckleblade, and there was the Teamer Flash deck with Yeva. Let me tell you about my pretty lady Yeva. Her and I. The Yeva deck was the deck that really made me love Magic. Why do you say the Thune combo is worse than the Kiki combo? Because the average card quality in the Archangel Thune Spike Feeder combo is worse, and it doesn't actually kill your opponent to turn you combo off guaranteed. It's a good draw. Grab Temple Garden here, I think. Nope, didn't play Teamer Ascendancy combo. I love me a shitty flash deck. Steel Overseer. Steel Overseer. Or Signal Pests. Or more Vault Scourges. Vault Scourge, Signal Pest. Vault Scourge, Signal Pest. Vault Scourge, Signal Pest. Come on. Come on. Play into this Pontiff. Fucking rude opponent. Yep. Just the classic Beards of Paradise, Lightning Helix, Orzhov Pontiff deck. Oh, that was a misclick. Alright, we're dead. Should have Helixed this. We were still pretty dead unless we drew exactly Stony Silence anyways. I should have Helixed this in response, though. Alright, I'm going to play one more match since we just gotten skunked out of all of these. Normally we quit when we're 0-3 with mid-range decks, but I really like this archetype even if it's not good. Let's try one more. My TLDR on the specifics of this deck is there's a reason why in like the infinite iterations of Kiki Chord I never actually put Ghostway in the deck, or Eerie Interlude, or whatever 3-color flicker effect you want. It's not good. It doesn't solve problems that this archetype has. It's just more clunky value mid-range cards in a deck that's full of clunky value mid-range cards already. And it's a card that, past all of that being clunky and all that jazz, it also just doesn't do anything if you don't already have a pretty full board presence. And if you have a full board presence for Ghostway, you probably don't need to blink it to get more value off of it. Because, well, you already played all these value cards out. I didn't actually go to the open Gifts Ungiven. I ended up staying homesick. I'm going to mute myself momentarily while I eat some potato chips. I'm going to keep this hand on the draw. To answer the question about Qasali combo, I think to set a bar that is so exceedingly low a professional limbo person couldn't limbo underneath it, Qasali combo is better than Kiki Chord. I also think Qasali combo isn't a good deck, and it's clunky and awkward for a lot of the same reasons Kiki Chord is clunky and awkward. But I think the fact that it sometimes has this linear nut draw makes it marginally better, but its linear nut draw is like laughable and inconsistent compared to the good linear decks in Modern. So I don't think any of these creature combo style decks are very good in Modern right now. I think they're all just like a turn and a half too slow, and they're not quite the interaction that they play. If you're not playing 1 mana discard, your interaction isn't efficient enough in Modern, and these decks just don't have access to those. JDM, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great content on Twitch right now, so thanks for supporting my stuff this month with that. We're just gonna die to the Steel Overseer in this Signal Pest. Do I just cycle this Canopy trying to hit a Path to Exile? I kind of have to, right? I suppose I could also just play this Wall of Omens out and then play out Restoration Angel and try and just like play towards the combo. Yeah, maybe I'm doing that actually. Yeah, I'm a liar. Let's just play to the combo. Hope to hit a chord. Yeah. Alright, well we can path it next turn. We played that deck again yesterday without Mox Amber. Oh, the red-white Bushwhacker deck. No, we didn't play that one again yet. I think we put that one back in the queue. Basically, you can always answer the question, what am I going to be playing soon, by looking, hey, what's in the donation queue? And basically, whatever's towards the top of the queue every day, that's what I sleeve up and play. Yeah, that's true. Playing Wall of Omens is the same as Canopy. It's a good assessment. It's a correct and good assessment. So we'll get to blink Wall of Omens and draw another card here. I'll get to eat Signal Pest inside of combat. And then we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, no, the battle cry trigger hasn't happened yet. 4, god damn it. Just no cards in hand. Draw. Alright, yeah, I'm done. Let's play something not Kiki Chord. These decks, creature combo decks in Modern, in general, are slow and clunky and bad right now. The format's very aggressive. Their interaction isn't good enough. They can be competitive against mid-range and control decks, but in general, they're just not very good. I think this deck, I think you can do, if you really enjoy playing this style of deck, I understand that. I really enjoy playing this style of deck too. I think this deck in particular has a number of card choices that push it towards being even more slow and clunky. So things I wouldn't be doing in a Kiki Chord deck if I was playing it. I would not be playing Ghostway. I would not be playing Reveillark. I would not be playing this card. I would not be playing this card. Just like, make your deck much more efficient. Would it be playable in the current meta? Maybe. I genuinely don't know. I think just like I said a second ago, Nilla, I think to set the bar exceedingly low, the Saheeli configurations are better decks than this just because they combo better. So like they have this better oops I win button, but in general, those decks still aren't even very good, fast or consistent combo decks. So I don't think they're very good in general. So yeah, if you wanted to play a creature combo deck, I would recommend checking out the Saheeli combo decks that we've played. I would recommend checking out the Angel Chord decks that I play. I also don't think those decks are very good, but I do think they're better than this Kiki Chord style archetype. All right, what do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? Am I ready to dredge people? I think I'm ready to dredge people. Or do I want to do sweet things? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Do I want to play taking turns? They're all pretty close in points, right? Dredge, Prison. Dredge and Prison both have 60s, so maybe I should do one of those. Those are both kind of slower decks. I don't want to lose a bunch of people. Let's do taking turns. We've been focusing on decks that are mostly memes. Let's do taking turns next, and then we'll play some of the other stuff after. Taking turns is like the last full meme on the docket for today. We'll do Dredge after this. Counters Company is always going to have bad representation because it's impossible to click through on Magic Online, and a lot of data we get comes from Magic Online. No, we just died to Affinity twice and we died to Burn twice. Just, you know, modern stuff.